Hey everybody, and if you're new or old, welcome to my channel. I'm Tabooty. I'm gonna get started and go straight into it. There's a story out of St. Louis, Missouri that I just have to talk about. It's regarding this teacher. His name is Deontay Taylor. He's 36 years old, and it's alleged that he's HIV positive, and his live-in lover, Michael Johnson, who is 66 years old. They have been charged with hiring a hitman to kill a 10-year-old boy and his mother. According to KSDK News, in February of 2015, Taylor, who was a teacher's aide at Luster Elementary in Hazelwood School District, took a 7-year-old boy out of his classroom and took him to another classroom where he sexually abused him. But get this. Though the student had reported the incident to his mother, and the mother immediately reported the incident to the police, Taylor wasn't charged until 2018, almost 3 years later. Due to the allegations, Taylor was fired from the Hazelwood School District, but he was never charged for molesting the child. Can you believe that? Oh man, this is unbelievable. I was pissed off when I heard that this case had taken over 3 years, and I was like, what? What is the police doing? The school district doing? Child Protective Services? So I had to do some more research because it was very limited on KSDK. So I found that on Inside Edition, there was some much more detailed information. And it was said, though the student reported the incident at the time, Taylor wasn't charged until November 2018, at which point he had gotten his teaching certificate and was working as a 5th grade teacher at Walnut Grove Elementary School in Ferguson, Florissant School District. The prosecuting attorney office said that the case was delayed after the detective working on it left the department in question. The investigation allegedly lapsed until the victim's mother reported the incident again. Taylor was arrested in 2018 after his DNA was found to match a sample taken from the child, and was charged with 3 charges of first-degree statutory sodomy, to which he pleaded not guilty. According to the spokesperson for the Ferguson Florissant School District, everyone goes through a criminal background check, sexual abuse registry background check, and there was nothing that showed up on that. That's a goddamn shame, because he wasn't charged. The police, the school district, and I don't know if it had been reported to Child Abuse Neglect Hotline, which immediately that should have been done. So Ferguson Florissant School District isn't guilty. When the results came back from their background checks, it was unsubstantiated, which means we have no information on this person. So he was hired. While awaiting trial behind bars, Taylor allegedly met with a fellow inmate to arrange for him to kill the student, now 10 years old, and his mother, according to court document. Taylor allegedly convinced his boyfriend to pay the man. The man went to the police and became a confidential informant, which resulted in more charges for Taylor as well as charges for Johnson. They both pleaded not guilty of all charges and are being held without bond. When I tell you, some people dropped the ball. I'm just flabbergasted. Hazelwood School District. I don't know if the little boy continued to go to the school, but wouldn't they been inquiring about the case? What were the results of the case? The police, the supervisor, although the detective left the job, people leave their jobs all the time, but the supervisor should have assigned that case to someone else. I would think that this case would be high priority. Matter of fact, I know for a fact it should have been considered as high priority. And I don't know again if Children Protective Services, if a hotline call had been placed to them, because that should have been investigated ASAP, immediately. And then also, I wonder why his mom waited so long to call when she didn't hear anything, didn't hear what was going on with the case. But he passed a series of background checks despite the open case in his prior district. I mean, they dropped the hell out of the ball. And you can believe me, everybody, the police department and the Hazelwood School District, you can believe me, they are trying to cover their ass now. That's a shame. A goddamn shame. And it was also reported on Inside Edition that Cindy Malott, who is the Director of Advocacy Services at Crisis Aid International in St. Louis, launched a GoFundMe page to help the child and his family who struggle financially and emotionally since the original incident occurred in 2015. This is a goddamn shame. I'm so sick of having to report all the predators out there. And so that baby is now 10 years old. 3 years later. It took 3 years and his mother having to contact the police to see what's going on with their case, to find out nothing. He had slipped through the cracks. What the hell? I'm just pissed off. And that's why it's so important. I know growing up back in the day, as a child, you would be told that you, especially teachers, you do what your teacher tell you to do. Not anymore. You have to talk to your child about teachers and any other adults that they come in contact with. That you don't do anything that doesn't feel comfortable, doesn't feel right to you. There is no such thing any longer as doing what you're told to do by an adult. I'm just pissed off. But unfortunately, children being sexually abused at school and in church. Church is an ongoing issue and should be a concern to everybody. And we all need to be vigilant and talk to our children. And they're never too young. But this was a very smart young man at 7 years old to go and tell his mother about what had happened. So he knew that what was happening was wrong. We have to talk to our children based on their age. Talk to them about safe touch and what to do if they feel that they are not being talked to or touched in an appropriate way. But this also makes me think, if, is this the first child this pedophile has messed with? Are there kids before him, kids in the neighborhood, other children in the school, his nieces and nephews, his neighbors' children? I just think that everybody needs to be talked to. I think that the school officials in Ferguson, Florissant, and Hazelwood need to talk to the students in the school one-on-one, or any children that were in contact with Taylor, and have a discussion with them to find out if anything inappropriate occurred with them. Because although this 7-year-old boy came forward, all children don't speak up. A lot of kids, you're going to do what your teacher, this adult, told you to do. So I think there needs to be a wider investigation of this. Ferguson Florissant School District sent a letter home to all of the students that were in Taylor's 5th grade classroom, alerting them to the incident that occurred, and informed them to talk to their children and to let the school know if they have any concerns. It's not just sending a letter home for the parents to question their children, but I think both school districts need to question the children. I'm just sick about it. This just pisses me off. You can trust that your children are safe in school or at church. And also, adults, all schools and churches, hell, need to have cameras and audio in every classroom, in the hallways. And maybe we would be able to cut down on people taking advantage of children. You all let me know what you think about this story. And everybody have a good one.